The town of al-Baghdadi falling into the hands of ISIS as the Iraqi army evaporates.
This as the terror group gains ground in Anbar province, some predicting a collapse of the area within hours.
ISIS forces was attacking Mosul.
Thousands of civilians, religious minorities fleeing an onslaught of violence.
The explosions start to be higher.
We watch horrific images of Christians being beheaded, slaughtered, their throats slit.
When they took me from the highway by gun and they put in my eyes and chain for 9 days.
ISIS claims its militants are still on the streets of Tikrit.
ISIS have crucified a man in Syria.
Still, there's this suspension of belief that that would ever come here.
They hit Christian especially. We don't know why.
Joy is hardly the response we'd expect from someone suffering violent persecution. The people we've met so far in this series have been exiled, tortured, or torn from their families. At this point, most of them have no hope of returning to anything resembling their former lives. Is it even possible to find Christians with smiles on their faces? Is it possible to find Christians with joy in the midst of these types of trials?
Yesterday, we were in one of the villages around Mosul. When ISIS attacked that village, we had to leave our home. They told us, as a Christian, you have two options. Pay the fees or you have to convert to Islam. Otherwise, we will take your sons to participate in our activities. I decided to leave rather than to stay and give my sons to become part of that terrorist organization. I decided not to give up on my faith as a Christian. When we heard them saying the rules for Christians, we were really scared. We decided to leave at midnight to get to the first checkpoint in Kurdistan. I'm so sick and I cannot take it anymore. And we're just really tired of living on this earth. We just want to die. God really doesn't care about us, and that's it. I don't know what else to say.
It was 1 o'clock midnight when we heard ISIS was close by our village. And they started to attack, and bombs were dropped in the middle of the city. And we were very scared for our women and girls and our kids. They would be kidnapped or be raped.
ISIS actually distributed a pamphlet giving their fighters the right to take infidel women and do whatever they wanted with them in the name of Allah.
One of the sad stories I heard about a Yazidi woman. She's married. She's a very young guy. She's less than 20 years old. ISIS took her from her family. She stayed there more than 90 days. They used to rape her 4 times every day at least, with 4 different men.
It's a disaster. I feel afraid of everything. And all our dreams are destroyed. Everything in our lives has been destroyed.
They sell them by price is less than price of hens. One chicken when you buy, it's like $10 or $20. They sell one to other, and they push them to marry them or also to have a sex with them.
I mean, I can't imagine being in that situation and still saying, God is here, and he's gonna work in our people, and he's gonna work in our lives, and there are gonna be great things that come from this.
My name is Shafia. My family is Christian in a place where it is dangerous to be one. My brother was murdered for defending the Christians in our village. I was kidnapped, imprisoned in a small room, and raped for 4 months. In order to buy me back, my family borrowed money from a brick kiln owner. My family and I worked as slave labor, making bricks to pay off the loan. 11 of us, 12 hours a day, getting paid $3 for every 1,000 bricks. But while I was making the bricks, something happened. I found peace.
There's no sugarcoating the suffering. It's dehumanizing, it's painful, it's real. But in the midst of that, I've seen what the Lord can do in his people, that they have joy in the midst of this terrible suffering.
Today, we were filming, and actually after the distribution, we got caught by the security police, and they took us to their office and started asking questions.
As I've learned to value Christ more than my own safety, it's become easy to operate in these environments of risk, in environments in which they live in all the time. So being with them has taught me to let go of that concern for my own safety, for really the things of this world, including physical safety.
All of this happened, and they kept us for more than 2 hours and keep asking questions. I get fingerprints, and they took my fingerprints, and also I signed that to not doing it again. But it's third time actually that I have been caught by the security police. And like I said that in the earlier, that nothing can stop us. These are nothing compared to the earlier church that they get persecuted. And now as under the persecuted, church is going to grow fast and incredibly.
Aram has a very different view on life. He's walking a very difficult road, a narrow path that he's chosen, and he handles it all with grace.
If we have a comfortable life will keep you away from really what you are desired to do in the ministry. So all of this is nothing compared to the reward that we will be receiving in the heaven with him.
They know that God is there and that he's gonna work no matter what. So I can't imagine suffering that much and still saying, God is here and his presence is here and he's gonna work. That's hard for me to imagine that's how I would be with my attitude.
And I've been asked to talk to about 17 girls. They run from Daesh. They said, and they tell me, if you talk with them, we know your words is different than our words. And this is also make me happy, because they are start to know that the words of God, words of Jesus, are different words of people. He loves you. I take care about you. And he's also suffering with you because you are suffering, and his heart is broken because you are suffering. She said, yes, I am very sad. I lost my family, I lost my home, I don't have anything. But inside, deep inside me there's happy of Jesus. There's Jesus inside me. So this makes me happy.
It so struck me that it looked like mother and daughter knitting on a park bench. They probably had nowhere to go, nothing else to do, but they were going to keep on with their daily lives.
It just makes me think, I might just have to embrace my circumstance. And if I embrace this, I know I can find something else besides the pain and the frustrations and the loss, because I can find God and joy deeper than anything else and anybody, and deeper than what anybody else can tell me about, because I am experiencing that.
I just pray that if I am ever tested, that I will stand.
That amounts to a modern-day exodus. Thousands of civilians, religious minorities,
men, women, and children have been forced from their homes.
Widespread panic in the town of Erbil. People there.
It's very hard for me to share gospel in this time.
People there concerned about whether they need to leave that city. So increasing concern about the plight of those Christians, and of course,
but God also used everything to good.
Community forced out of their homes into the mountains, desperate.
This is truly a living nightmare that's not going away.
Like Jesus said, the enemy come to kill and destroy and steal, and the enemy is devil. Who killing our people, who stealing their life and destroy their life. And Jesus said, I came to have a life and a better life. So pray to have people here to find Jesus.
In the book of Hebrews, the Apostle Paul encourages the church to keep our eyes on Jesus, who, for the joy that was set before him, endured the cross. For the joy that was set before him. That joy was the knowledge that by taking the punishment for our sins, he would make it possible for us to be with him forever. As Christians, our time on earth is not going to be easy. We've seen that over and over in this series. But our lives here are only the beginning of the story. Jesus is King. Jesus is coming back, and he promises to give us joy in the midst of it all, because he has already defeated the enemy.